Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael, aka Rickshaw, and you're nerding out with Rickshaw. And you're also nerding out with my partners.
Oh, am I supposed to go? Howdy, y'all. I'm Fuzz.
And I am the producer, Toby.
Right now, we're doing some weekly news, and we're going to talk about a little Avenged Sevenfold news. Not the song.
No.
We don't.
Thankfully.
We're trying our hardest not to talk about the song.
Yeah,
but,
we've already reacted to that. We don't need to go through it again. Nobody wants to react to that again.
No.
But
no,
we have
we're
great
good.
respect for old Avenged Sevenfold. We'll tell you that
Yes.
much right now.
First two records. And I like the third one. I like the fourth one too. But that's it.
You know what? I just like the whole discography.
1 through 4, I'm in.
But before we get into that, come here. Come close. Sit on Santa's lap. Do you need a new pair of headphones for Christmas, little Billy? Well, you're in luck because I'm not going to buy it for you. But if you go to the link in the description, there will be several options for Sennheiser Headphones. And if you love this show and you need a pair of headphones, type in 10 nerding out into the discount code and you'll get your pair 10% off. Doggy, I'm glad that I like Nerding Out with Rickshaw.
That was lovely.
Where's this hit coming from all of a sudden? Where's this redneck coming from all of a sudden?
You know, we're living in Texas, and sometimes it just comes right out, sneaks right up on me, little doggy.
Wow, dude. All right.
All right, yeah.
There's an accent in my boot.
There sure is.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about Avenged Sevenfold today. But as we were, I wanted to bring this up as we were talking about subjects to talk about for our weekly news. Toby was like, "Hey, what about this little girl that's been screaming on some heavy music?" And I was like, "Shit, no! I'm tired of little kids screaming on music. I'm so annoyed with that shit. I hate little kids." So, how do y'all feel about little kids screaming into the microphone?
He does.
No,
hate
Rickshaw's
them.
just a hater. That's all it is. He's just full of hatred.
I would have been
Sure.
screaming into microphones when I was a kid too if I had the means. We just didn't have the internet. We just didn't have microphones because we were poor. You know
Right?
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So yeah, I would have been right there screaming how I hate you, Dad. You know?
Yeah.
All that little angst we had when we were kids. We had no way to get it out
Right?
when we were
yeah,
young.
Sure. Just play violent video games and stuff.
We had to suck it up like a man.
Yeah. I played saxophone and I played it real hard.
Yeah, I went to church.
oh. Yeah. But yeah, Avenged Sevenfold, they released a statement saying that they are going to have a new ticketing system called Ticket Pass. And I think that they said it's a beta and it's only them doing it right now. But this will get rid of having to go to Ticketmaster and paying $7,000 for tickets, like especially if it's in high demand. And then that's what. So if anyone doesn't know that, Ticketmaster has been using this new system to where if the demand is high, they want to like fight scalpers, so they just start driving the price up the higher the demand. So that's why we're getting like $500 floor prices, and it's kind of wild to me. But Avenged Sevenfold is offering a new way to do that. It's going to be called a ticket pass system. They're saying that like you will be able to order the tickets to their shows directly from them. They're also going to implement like some sort of reward system. So like if you are buying tickets from them, regularly, they're also going to have merch up. You buy a shirt, you buy some other stuff, and then the next time they come to town, they send you an email, and you're going to be able to buy your tickets early before the rest of the crowd gets them. But they're always going to be one flat rate unless they're doing like seats and floor. But yeah, it's never going to be the higher the demand, the prices are still going to be the same for the tickets. So this is something that is amazing, although I have not really, enjoy their new song, but still, hey, it's been a long time. I'm sure they have a lot of fans out there jamming that shit. Um, but this is like such a cool thing, especially with how much controversial shit we've seen this year with ticket prices. Like Metallica, Blink 182, those are like the biggest examples. But
Right
it's
now,
just gotten wild.
Bad Omens is that's getting out of hand
I
right
saw
now
Yeah.
that.
too. Yeah.
What was it like was it 80 or 90 for like floor tickets or something like that?
No, just how the tickets were sold and stuff, how they were trying to protect it from scalpers, and they were just driving prices up, and then all of a sudden the pre-sale sold out, and it's like, there wasn't a lot to choose from, yada yada yada. Different scenario, but
Right.
same bullshit with the tickets.
Yeah, it's just gotten wild to me, and I've probably said this before that like, we live in a world where like the common person is why these bands get big. You know what I mean? Like it's most of the time, and this is being general, but like there's a lot of really rich people that like buy up tickets to shows and they don't even care. They're just like, "Oh, we wanted something to do on a Tuesday." You know what I mean? So we bought the whole family these tickets. Now that Tuesday's here, we don't even feel like going. And then all of the people that are like living and dying by these bands, living paycheck to paycheck, are just like, well, fuck, I'm not going to be able to spend my whole paycheck on one
Right. My
fucking
house
ticket.
payment, my
Yeah.
rent. Yeah.
So I think, I think that Avenged Sevenfold's got something going on. I think this will be a trend that starts with other bands that could potentially do the same.
So the only question I would have is, if they're going to do this, how long before Ticketmaster either A, comes after them and shuts them down, or every band just says, fuck it, we are going to be selling the tickets, and instead of going through Live Nation, they just go skip the middleman and talk to the venues
Yep.
personally. I mean, like, what's going to happen? It's two things are going to happen. Either Ticketmaster is going to step in, or other bands are going to do it, and Ticketmaster and Live Nation are going to be screwed.
Yeah.
I think that, like when it comes to that scenario too, like we have more than one angle to fight the Ticketmaster thing, because a band could do it themselves or a venue could do it themselves. So like if a venue or a band start, like jumping on this trend, of course, if a venue wants to take care of all that, and they're keeping the prices at a good rate, I'm sure a band would be okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, because the fans are still coming. They're still coming, most likely if it's a band like Avenged Sevenfold, they're selling out. So it's like, we don't need Ticketmaster, dude. We don't
Well,
need them to like fuck everyone over just because they're handling the tickets. You know what I mean?
I think it's the infrastructure that it has, that Ticketmaster already has. It's convenient. A lot of us are just using our phones for tickets now. If we go the route where the venues are doing it, which I'm completely on board. I'm just playing devil's advocate right now.
Right.
The venues have to handle the tickets, getting them to the people, some kind of digital ticket. Can it be copied? And Ticketmaster already has this all figured out. So it's the infrastructure that they're losing when they try to do this on their own. So it's
Right.
going to be, is it worth it for, a smaller venue to try to figure this out? Now, like big, like stadiums and stuff like that, I could see them being like, yeah, we will figure this out on our own. Fuck them. But I just don't think that smaller venues are going to be able to catch on to this. I hope so, because
Mhm.
it is getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous for even like smaller shows, So
Mhm.
I paid to see Gideon a couple weeks ago. I paid an $11 service fee for a $25 ticket.
yeah,
Yeah.
The venue's tiny, like it's out of control. I think Live Nation and Ticketmaster and all them, during the pandemic, they went and bought up a ton of venues too,
I think so.
Mhm.
so they could run this, and it basically just be like, well, fuck you, we can charge whatever we want because we own the venues. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's smart business, but like, these fees are outrageous. These prices, what I paid for my wife to go see Lizzo a couple months back was unreal. I'm sorry, but those tickets shouldn't cost that fucking much. That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, like people like us, we see shows a lot different because, like, you get some like mainstream artists, even if we like them, and they're playing like big arenas, and their ticket prices are a certain price. We're like people like us, we're like, why the fuck would I want to go to that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna even if I'd paid all that shit to get in. It's like I'm not gonna be able to get a shirt. I'm hardly gonna be able to get beer. You know what I mean? I might scarf down Whataburger before I go just to fucking have some food in my belly while
Right.
I'm there. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's just wild to me that we've gotten to this point where, like, I get that we live in a society where it's like money fuels everything, but even when it comes to enjoying music now, it's like, unless you're fucking making good money, then you're
you.
fucked. Yeah.
Right. Dude, like, looking at it, a bunch of the bands we're going to see at Sick New World are going on tour this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be, Incubus, we'll say they're going to be in Lubbock.
Yeah.
One ticket to see Incubus in Lubbock is going to be $120, $130 just for me, just for one.
Right.
I spent $400 to see 30 of my favorite bands of all time. I will pay that all day long. I will pay the service fees for that too, because I get to see 20 bands. I get to see 20 of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
I'll pay that money, but I think it's ridiculous if I want to go see one band at Jexa or whatever it's called now. It's going to cost me, for shit seats, the very back under the shade, it's going to cost me $180 per ticket. Nah, fuck that. I ain't going to that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a good example of someone who's doing it right. You know what I mean? Because although, obviously $400 is, money out of our pockets, and it puts a little dent in some of our pockets. But whenever I look at the top 2 lines of the show flyer, and it's like Deftones, Korn, like
Incubus.
System of a Down, Incubus.
Like that.
That shit
It's
already
worth $400.
That's already worth $400.
It's worth
And then-
$400.
And then we have like literally a novel of bands, you know what I mean, underneath it. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
why not?
So
in
many
that
bands you have
scenario?
to get like a magnifying glass and be like, okay.
Yeah,
These other
exactly.
bands.
It's all bands that I grew up, like, the reason I play music is because of these bands.
Right.
And I mean, dude, Mike, you remember when we went to Vegas to see Korn on the 20th anniversary tour?
Yeah.
Those tickets were what? Those, I don't think they were
Those
$100.
like, yeah, I think they were like $60 a piece or something like that. And that was only a few years ago,
That was to see one band play 16 songs, and we spent not even $100.
Yeah, and it was amazing.
It was amazing. And then now all of a sudden, people, like, I heard people griping about Taylor Swift, whatever. I hear that stuff. Paying thousands of dollars for one ticket. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it always comes back to this, but Metallica, dude, come on. Like, if I could see, like we just talked about, a whole festival of things that inspired me, like dozens of bands that inspired me for $400, but then Metallica is like, oh yeah, VIP, $7,000. Like,
Yeah.
just for you? I don't get to meet the fucking president. I don't get to meet the Queen of England. Like, I don't get to meet Stanley's ghost. Like,
Right. Dude, and like what's crazy is like our festival tickets, I mean mine and I think John and Lee's and probably yours too, we have access to air-conditioned bathrooms, food that's in different places that's out of the way, like all these extra options for $449. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do it over and over again because of what I'm getting, but I will not pay a ton of money to see one band. Like, it's just not a thing anymore. I can't afford it. Like, it's just not worth it.
yeah.
I'm sure you guys have seen this meme, but the Ticketmaster meme,
Yeah.
the
Oh my god.
paperless transmission fee 504 fee, because we can fee, might as well fee. What the
Yeah.
fuck
What you
going
gonna
to
do, fee? That's good. And another dollar won't hurt.
Yeah.
That's so fucking
Yeah.
good.
Fee-fi, fo-fum, fee.
Yo, you know what?
That's
If some
amazing.
company charged me a fee fi fo fum fee, I'd be like, yo, I'll pay that shit. That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they got to do. They got to give them. They got to give them cute names. Is the problem?
Right. But
Yeah.
what's so funny to me is like when you go to buy 2 tickets on any website, they charge you twice the service fee.
Yes, which is
It's
stupid.
one transaction.
Fucker.
Your IT guy is the only guy worrying about any of the transaction fees or any of this.
No,
Your
it's
IT guy.
There's probably an algorithm that handles all of it, and then they have customer service people for whenever it fucks up, and that's it. You know what I mean? So who's making the money? It's probably just fucking Ticketmaster. Still,
They're crooks, dude.
You know what? Maybe it's the person that built the website. They like siphon a little bit of those fees into just a private bank account or something, and
Yeah.
that's why
It's
the
like
fees.
Fraction of a penny.
Yeah.
Office Space.
Yes.
It's a fraction of a penny.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, what do
So
what
you're
do y'all
stealing.
think? What do y'all think watching this? Is it? I don't know like the demographic of people that watch this, but are you poor? Are you rich? Would you pay? Would you pay to see fucking Metallica at what? What was their general admission on that tour?
I
You
don't.
guys
It was
remember?
ridiculous.
I think starting like was I'm gonna put out a number. I'm gonna say 400 is what I thought. Like, 'cause
I thought
at
it
one
was
point in
5,
time,
actually.
the nosebleeds at Jerry World were $700.
Oof.
And if you've ever been to AT&T Stadium, up at the top, you can't see shit from up at the top. I know because I've sat up there before. You cannot
And
see
they
anything
have
from the
pillars
top.
too. There's pillars up there sometimes too.
Yeah,
so
dude.
you just be like,
all you can see is the screen. All you
Yeah.
can see is the giant TV screen. You won't even be able to see the show because you won't be able to see anything.
But you're there for the atmosphere, then.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what all the guys who are alcoholics that probably have. Never mind. I'm not going to keep going. I don't want to offend any Metallica fans. I'm going to offend any Metallica fans.
But yeah, what do you leave it in the comments? Who would you choose in this scenario? Avenged Sevenfold for the cost of tickets, or Metallica for the cost of surgeries? But yeah, but also if you have any suggestions on things you want us to cover or comments that you want us to hear personally, hit us up at nerdingoutwithrickshaw@gmail.com. Do you guys have anything else to say on this one?
Yeah, I just real quick. I mean, can M Shadows like go by his real name? Like we're past that whole. You know what I'm saying? Like Sinister Gates. Come on, dude. We're done with all that. You guys aren't spooky and scary anymore. Just go by your real names. That's ticket ID is genius, but just go by your real names. I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, I'm cool with that. But like sometimes you can't take off the mask. You know what I mean? Like Slipknot. The times they did
Recorded.
take off the mask, what happened? We all got mad, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
But as long as they're rocking that eyeshadow and black fingernail paint,
Lifting weights and shit.
these M shadows to me. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you later, nerds.